Good afternoon, everybody. Well, more like good evening here. Late afternoon, but oh, what a day. Last night was quite eventful. I have been just taking my dogs out on leashes because I'm not real certain how these creatures are acting, will act around my dogs. All it takes is one of them to harm them, so. But anyways, I let them out the door last night, and lo and behold, the littlest one, lady, she took off up in the woods, and so I got the video camera out and I was recording and found a couple of the junior squatches out there, and see, my dog is diabetic, and whenever her sugar is out of whack, she'll pant and lay down and just real uncomfortable, and she's on the long-acting insulin. So for the past couple months, I've noticed that she's starting to pant and have accidents and stuff. I was like, well, her sugar's getting out of whack. What in the world's going on? I mean, she's been on this same dosage for the past year, and so come to find out, I started taking her out on a leash, and that stuff quit happening. And last night, when she went up into the woods, I think these Sasquatches, the little ones especially, might be feeding her, using treats to get her out into the woods and stuff like that, and they're feeding her, and then her sugar's out of whack. They don't know she's diabetic, obviously, and so I started taking her out on a leash, and she quit doing that. She quit panting, she quit having accidents. So I know she was getting an extra intake of food from somewhere. And so out of the footage I got, I started dissecting the footage, going through it. And for this past week, some of the footage I've gotten showing they have a lot of babies. There's a lot of them in the recordings, and some of them will be playful. Like I put up one video of one of the watchers was watching me out here, and he's got his eye on the house. He's not watching me particularly because I wasn't outside. I was filming from in the house with a zoom camera, and so he was watching the back door, and the next thing you know, you see his little hand come up and try to cover his eyeball a couple times, and then it shows the adult grinning like, quit it. That little toddler was playing with him and trying to cover up his eye, and then it shows the toddler peek around a tree like that with his big bulging eyeballs, and then it shows his eyeballs twerk over to the left, and I thought that was pretty amusing. But so far, I've not got no bad feelings against any of these beings, except one time, and it wasn't really a feeling of wanting to kill you or nothing. It was more of an aggressive, defensive posture, like "don't come any closer" type feeling. And that was one evening when I was taking food up to the tree line, but it had gotten darker than usual. It was later than usual for me to set the feed out, and I don't know if I interrupted something or what, but I got the feeling that one of them was being real aggressive. And so there's been some things that I've spotted during this footage this past couple weeks, and the footage that I've accumulated over this past year that I've been going through. And for one is their cloaking ability. And I think a lot of it has to do with like their undercoat and stuff. Like for example, in the one video I put up earlier this morning, it shows one of those creatures with its hands like this, and it's smashing its hand like that, like along the tree line. And then you'll see a couple of them, they'll have like this bamboo, it looks like bamboo, but I'm sure it ain't, that's stretched out along the ground. And when I went back there on the hillside, I noticed there was dig spots in the ground. And see, West Virginia, the dirt is known to have a lot of quartz and stuff in it. And so it's just a guess, but you know, I think maybe they are coating their skin with conductive material, like a dust, a quartz dust or something, and they put that in their fur, and then when light hits it, it gives it some kind of reflective quality or something. It's something, maybe not that in particular that way, but there's doing something to gain this chameleon type ability. Also, what I do know they done is last night there was this, you'll see in the footage if you watch all my uploads, but I got this little shed right here. And in one of the videos it shows me pan over, and it shows the eyeball of the Sasquatch behind the shed looking down at me, and you can see its eyeball pointing this way. Well, it'd be this way, watching this. It'd be looking at me this way. And as I pan the light over toward his eyes, you'll see his pupil go up and around. His eye will roll up like this. And what he's doing is he's keeping me from being able to get that flashlight in his eyes. It's keeping from getting any kind of eye shine, because they'll use their eyes and roll up to keep the reflectiveness from happening, so you can't spot them. Very intelligent. And in a couple other different spots, you'll see the eyeballs in the footage, and you'll see their eyes looking left and right, and then all of a sudden you'll see one of the eyes straighten out, and where it actually focuses in on you, where it'll see what you're doing real quick before it goes back to doing it. And you'll see it, they'll go like, and they'll make they make these faces along with that eye movement to distort your camera footage, so you can't see an outline of their face. And it's very squatchy. And all the videos I put up, they're all squatchy. I mean, they're just they all look like that. But the most intriguing footage that I put up last night was the 2-foot Sasquatch. I caught him out in the open. And I'm going to walk you out here real quick and show you where, okay. Right here's the angle. Right there. Right there is where I recorded him. You see this little bush tree right here. You see this big tree? He was standing right in front of it. He's about 2 or 3 foot tall. And so he's in between this tree and this tree, leaning up against this tree. You'll see him in the footage. And I don't know, he's about, I'd say he's 2 or 3 foot tall. He wasn't, but his face and his hair, when I hit it with the light, you know, I'm sure he's like a grayish color, but it almost reflects back green. It's crazy. And you'll see on some of his, on the images, you'll see him moving his face left and right and his eyeballs up and down to try to hide his footage, try to break up his outline. You can see the tracks all through here. He's standing right here on this tree. Right here is where he was standing at. And I caught him with that angle there. So basically they were all through here. And on the other footage you'll see, I'm guessing he's probably 9 foot. You'll see he's about 8 or 9 foot, I'm guessing. I don't know, I'll have to measure it. Look at the foot exactly where he was standing. And the problem is I got so much activity here that I ain't got no help. It's just me doing it. And it's hard to do all these measurements, especially across great distances. Yeah, I don't have enough help to collect all the evidence, the footprints, the casting. I mean, it's just everywhere. It's all over the place. And anyways, on that footage, you'll see the squatch standing there. You'll see his legs. His legs look almost greenish color. His hair, his solid hair. And then in between his legs, you'll see a little squatch peeking through his legs. And then at the top, then there'll be like this little stretch of bush that comes across his chest. So you can only see his bottom legs and then his chest up, his head. So I zoom in and mess it around so you can see his eyes shine, his head movement and stuff. I thought that was pretty good footage. But yeah, I'm starting to collect a lot of data also. I got footage of where they were in my old truck down over the hills. The cab's unlocked. The truck doesn't run anymore. It just broke down for now. And they get into the cab of that truck. I don't know if they like jerk around on the steering wheel or what. I don't know. I hope they don't ever knock it out of gear or nothing. But anyways, nobody's been in that truck since they got in there. So I'm wondering if there's hair in there and stuff. And I hear banging outside all the time, so they're probably getting in that truck quite a bit. Maybe there's a way to put a hair trap or something in there, a DNA trap or something. But also, this footage, this is 14 minutes coming up here, so I'm about ready to wrap this up. But also, I have some footage showing some of these creatures are so large that you can see their face in the tree line. It's ginormous. I don't even know how to even put a height on it. It's so big. At least 20, 25 foot. Probably 20, 25 foot tall. If you see that one video I done, it shows its head. It's in the tree line. Its head is so huge. It has to be laying down to try to to cover its head, to conceal its head. But it's just quite phenomenal. I'm just blown away by the footage that I'm capturing. The problem is right now all I got is a iPhone 10. I need to upgrade my cameras, and if I could get my cameras upgraded, I could put out some better quality footage. So that's my goal, is to try to grow this channel and to get some better equipment, to get better footage. So that's my goal, is try to grow the channel. So if you can, like, subscribe, ring the bell. Peace.